Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to show is how to print out um, HTML onto your browser from JavaScript. So the way we've done this in the past, or the way that we've messaged things in the past, is we've done things like console log to make things come up here. We've done things like document write from here to make things show up um, in here as well, right? So document dot write, right? Hello. All right, so we've done this, and that shows up. However, what if you want something to show up inside of an HTML element, right? So let's say for example, if you have a list and you want each list item to print out something, print out a different thing like an array or something like that. So the way that you would do that is here's the same HTML file that we had from the last video. It's got a little button, and that button's called My Button. We have an event over here at the bottom, right? Event.js file. When I click on this button, it's gonna go to that event.js file. In that event.js file, there's going to be a link to that button, right? A variable is going to be associated with that button, and then with that button we created a listener for click, and we're going to say hello, right? And right now we have console log. So if I go like this and I refresh it, it says hello. So that works, but I don't want that, right? And I also don't want document write. What I actually want is I want to create some place inside of my HTML. I want to say hello there, right? So what you can do is we can create a div. There's many ways, but we'll just create a div, and we're going to give that an ID, right? We're going to give this ID, and we're going to say, we'll call this message box or something, right? Doesn't matter what you call it. But create an element, and we're going to give it an ID. And what we want to do is we want to add it here. So, add here, right? This is where I want it to show up. So in order to do that, what we'll do is we are going to go to event, right? And instead of console.log, we know we need to find the event first, right? Because it's called message box, right? Let's copy that. Put this over here. We're going to copy this get element by ID, and we're going to look for message box, right? And we'll call this my message element, right? So now inside of JavaScript we have access to two elements inside of the HTML. We know where the button element and we know what the message element is. So we want to put something inside of the message element. So here, what we do inside of this function, we'll just add my message element dot InnerHTML equals hello. Right. So now what's going to happen here is button element it has an event listener set to it for click. Once they click on it, it's going to call say hello. Say hello is my function right here, and that function is going to look for my message element, which is message box here, this div right in here, and it's going to insert HTML inside of it, and that's what this inner.html is, right? Now, if I were to test this, and I click, hello, and there it is. And that is how you can add, instead of using something like console log or document write, how you can add things directly to a HTML item. Another thing you can add here too is you could add, just say, bold. Right, so you can actually add HTML here too. Right, so there it is, now it's bold. Yeah, so that's inner.html.